Welcome back to the JP Podcast. This is episode 7, and what I do is I talk about gym, golf, life, anything in between. You see, I'm trying to be raw, unfiltered, and straight up talk like I'm talking to my closest friends out there in person. But what I want to say though, if you've been rocking with me since the first episode 1, I appreciate you all. But today's will be a little different. Today's gonna be more me going into golf. So today we're talking golf. You see, this sport is the most humbling, the most frustrating sport out on the planet. My opinion. I believe it is. You can prove me wrong. Write in the comments another thing that is really frustrating, also humbling. But you see, sometimes I hit the perfect swing, the draws, the perfect fades, all those things, and it makes me feel like, wow, I'm actually getting the hang of the sport. Then I have those swings or sessions where I'm just like, I really just want to snap my club, or I want to throw my club in front of me and just forget about it and move on to the next hole. But that's why I love the sport. You see, golf is a mirror of life, and I'll get into it more as we dive into it. But remember, if you're new here, what I do is you do 5 segments, because I have some bullet points I want to get off of. Basically, talk about those segments, and let's dive into it right now. So segment 1 is basically how I got into golf. You see, I tried to learn as a kid. My dad tried to take me out to some kind of like public driving ranges. He bought me my first set of clubs. It's like the ones you get like at like Dick's or the Van store or whatever like Second Swing, like a kid set. Comes with like everything you need. And I was like in it for the moment. I was in it. But the patience as a kid, I was like, no, like this is not it. I'm just getting frustrated, not learning or not having the patience to like sit down and like have my dad talk to me like, slow down your swing, or it's like think slow, think tempo. I'm like, I gotta say I was probably like 10, and my brain was like, like how I picture is like, not trying to bash little league baseball or like PB baseball or T-ball, but like when the kids are in the outfield and they're like picking at the flowers, that's how I felt. But not really picking at the flowers. I was just like in my own Delulu land, like brain was just everywhere besides there in the moment. But what actually, fast forward to 2023 though, different story. You see, the whole pandemic thing happened. So everyone was like stuck indoors, like locked up, locked down and all that stuff. And I saw some old clubs in my garage, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready now. I have the patience because of going to the gyms consistently, staying consistent with it. That the patience for that, like progress does not come overnight. It takes consistency in coming to it. So if I can do that with the gym, I think I can do that with golf. But I'm gonna be real. I still suck. I've gotten better though. But holy crap, like the very beginning, the first range session, just terrible. Topping everything. Missing the ball. Like hitting, swinging and missing, and just over swinging everything. And that's like, I was like, wow, like we're in for a long run. We're in for a long treat right now. This is like the gym for me, but now it's golf. So I gotta just keep with it, stay consistent, dedication, and just commit to it, and don't quit. So then now it's 2025 now. Like wow, like 2 years in the making of me like consistently going to the gym and consistently going to like golf wise, crazy. Why did I talk about gym? All right, yeah, back to it. So what I did is I always thought like range sessions is where you like work on everything, which it is, but like to get the actual feel of seeing if your game's improving, you have to go in rounds. Like actually playing courses will help you become a better golfer. But yeah, the beginning, terrible. Like, are you kidding? Like, I was terrible. Slicing, missing, just all the bad. I kid you not. One time I went to Cracker Jacks, Arizona. They don't have anymore, but they used to have like a cheap driving range. Cheap. I was like, wow, this is like affordable. Like, it's just like, no wonder. Like, I should have learned. I should have picked up golf sooner. Cause it was like cheap, like $12 for like 150 balls. Are you kidding me? I remember I went with my buddy one time, and all the bays were taken. Besides like the first one next to the freaking window of like the concession place, so you get your that you buy tickets for your balls. And I had my 3-wood. It was an Adams Golf 3-wood, old, like probably like 2000s maybe. I don't know. It's like a GT3. That's what it was. That brand. I full on hit the side of the wall, and like the concession person looked at us and was like, "What the f? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Sorry, I'm new." Like, I felt so embarrassed. My buddy's laughing at me, like saying, "Just keep going, try another one." Did it again. And I was like, "Wow, yeah, no, I'm done with this club right now." So yeah, just the shanks, the whiffing. Oh, the whiffing was terrible. I just tried to swing as hard as I could because I was pretty built when I started to pick up it again, and I just relied on pure strength. Because I can, like, not going to put my ego out there, but I can lift pretty heavy weight. And I was like, you know what? I have a freaking club in my hand. Let's see how far I can hit this by smacking the crap out of the ball. Little do I know, that's not the technique. We'll get into that further, but I was whiffing everything. I was swinging and missing. I was, like, striking out all my tiny ball. And I couldn't even hit that. I was like, wow, this is embarrassing. But the first time I ever hit like a pure shot, like pure iron shot, pure hybrid 3-wood driver, you name the club. But the first time I ever hit a pure shot, it was amazing. Like, it made me come back. Cause I was like, oh, that's how it's supposed to sound. Not me, not hearing like a dink or like some kind of weird sound like the hosel. Like, I was like, wow, I know what it should sound like, and I hit it flush. It was like, wow, this is amazing. The first time though was actually on a round. I played a course in Fountain Hills called Eagle Mountain. It was, I think, hole 16, or I don't remember the hole exactly because I was getting new to it, but it was downhill, but it was like a par 5, and we were playing from the tip. So I'm like, why am I playing from the tips at this when I'm just beginning? Like, it is what it is because it taught me to like learn to like play where you're playing. Because my buddies were all playing there. I should have just went to the little one in front of the back of the tees, back of the tips. But I was like, let's see what I can do. I crank a drive. Like, that was my best drive ever. Like, still to this day. Like, that was back in like, what was it? Like, probably like 2023. Like, back then when I first started golf, like, I was like, wow, this is how it should feel, and this was amazing. And I wanted to come back and get better at my technique, get better at my form. That's what I loved about it, and it hooked me till this day, and I love it. But what I want to say is that golf does not care who you are, because, like I said, I consider myself a bodybuilder, and I for the longest time tried to smack the crap out of the ball. Like, just, I'm fit, I'm strong. This should be a cakewalk. But hitting a small white ball humbles you real quickly. If you want to try it, I would say try it, because it's not as easy as it looks. Unless you're some kind of prodigy, like, then don't come at me right now, because I'll get frustrated at that. But yeah. But now segment 2, getting some bullet points I have is, why is it addicting? See, why it's addicting to me is because, like I said, that whole psychology based about like golf, like, everyone who's played golf has been at that moment of hitting that one good shot. Yes, we might have 100 bad shots, but that one good shot, most of the time, has us hooked and coming back for more and more and more. yes, 99 of those shots will be crap, like shanks, whiffing, or just slicing the crap, or dog hooks, like all those kind of stuff. But that one good shot, that makes all of us golfers come back, because we know, like, okay, either I'm thinking too hard or I'm swinging too hard, tempo's off, something along those lines, etc. But once we get it down and once we figure it out, like, slow down, and that pure shot happens, like, we come back. Like, all right, let's hit another ball, or let's hit the next, first tee, off the tee, amazing. Second shot, amazing. Third shot could be terrible, could be good. Doesn't matter, because those one good shot defeats all the bad shots. How I can compare this to golf and gym. So how I can compare golf and gym, because they're both addicting in their own ways, it's that, but both of them similarly have, you don't notice the progress every day. Like, yes, you do, but again, you don't, because the progress in the gym can take time and consistency and staying committed and, like, not feeling down on yourself. But it comes the same way with golf. It takes time, consistency, commitment, dedication, and obviously for both of them, never quit. Like, you have a bad round, you have a bad session, a gym session. We all have them. Like, let's be real. But we got to make sure, like, those bad ones don't outweigh the good ones. Because what I'm about to say is that small wins, for me, always overtake those bigger wins. If I know that my swing is improving little by little, with the progress of me going every day, staying with it, at least trying to get better, the smaller wins are 100% going to outweigh those bigger wins. And they keep me hooked to playing the game that I consider now that I love. But let's go to a story time on this section. So I played around. Let's see, what was it? It was probably 3 months ago with another buddy. It was a short, like, par 62, like very par 3s, par 4s, one par 5, I would say, but I was just terrible. Like, whole round I just fell off. I also was kind of late, did not get a good warm up in. Usually my warm-ups consist of, like, getting there at least 45 minutes early, stretching, hitting some range balls, dialing up my game. But that day I was just, like, woke up late. I forgot my tee time for a second. And I was like, crap. I'm really going to get there, and we got to go right off the tee. So I did that. That didn't help, and I didn't eat, so that didn't help either. So I was just hungry and playing around. But at the end of the round, it was hole 16. That's when I hit a good drive. Second shot was terrible, but I was still, like, in a good position to, like, shoot for the green. And I got it on, like, the first cut or the fringe, and bam, my putt, because I usually Texas wedge anything that's close, because my chipping right now has been off, or it was off then, and I Texas wedged it, and it went in. And that just saved me from up and down of getting from the previous 16 holes, bogeys, double bogeys, no pars until that one hole. And it was just like, wow, like, that one par, I don't care how terrible it sounds, getting bogeys, double bogeys on every other hole, it made my round, because it was yes, the first 16 holes, terrible. But knowing that I never quit, I never, yes, I would try to reset each time, but then bad shot after bad shot. But I tried to keep my composure, and I did for hole 16, and it was amazing because I made par, and I thought that whole day was just going to be ruined of, today's not my day, or today it's just going to suck. It did suck, but it was like, at least I know I got a par, and that's all that matters to me, and that's what I love about it. And then I'm going to tie it into life now. So basically, small wins, like I said again, outweigh the bigger wins, the big wins. You see, if we set too high of a standard, like big goals, like drastic big dreams, like yes, I'm not saying don't dream big, but like getting to those points, you have a big dream, but you got to have smaller wins that lead up to that bigger dream. If you're just going from, I want to be scratch golfer all the way up here, but realistically, you're not doing smaller wins. Like basically, like a small win example would be like at least hitting the range two times a week and playing a course at least once a week. If we're not having those small wins that build us up to like a staircase of getting to that, I'm trying to get to scratch. I'm not trying to get to scratch, but like, for example, smaller wins will outweigh the bigger wins, and it will ultimately lead us to those bigger wins of getting to the point where we want to get to. Segment 3. Golf and emotions. Let's start off with, sorry in advance, but the frustration, the anger, like the emotions that come out on a course, on a round that I try to work with, but sometimes I get lost in the moment, and I know I shouldn't, but it's because like I'm a very competitive person. I consider myself an athlete in a sense, but on the courses, I used to, sometimes to this day, I throw my club, I cuss a lot. Like I'm trying to, if you know me, like I don't really cuss a lot. Or if you like want to get to know me, I usually do not cuss. I say like instead of F word, I say duck, and I make like other words like Bolshevik, like all those kind of stuff. Crap is like a big one, but I don't consider that like too much of a cussing because there's another harder one, like shiitake mushroom one. But yeah, I don't cuss a lot. But when it comes to a round, and I'm angry and I'm frustrated, oh my gosh, I'm like a freaking cussing machine. I just beep, 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 beep this, beep that, like what the beep, I'm like all those kind of things. I'm just like lost. I lose my composure. The last one is that I did in the beginning always have that, the easy way out, you like just quit the game, like frick this game, like this is not for me, or like quit my round like mid round and be like, thank you, but I'm done. But there's also those times where the pure peace. Either you have a cart or you're walking the fairways, depending on when you play. And then last but not least, time with friends. So I'm going to break them down a little bit more. So the pure peace, what do I mean exactly? Like the pure peace is literally majority of the times if you're out around with your buddies or by yourself, it is meditative. You hear birds chirping. You hear neighbors yelling. You hear people in front of you just having a blast, blasting their music. And then when it comes to you stepping up to your ball, just quiet. Everyone knows like when someone's at the tee, usually if they're behind you, just quiet. And like if they're in front of you, they're so far in front of you before you're even hitting out the tee box. But it's quiet. And it's peaceful. It gets you like out of your zone for a little bit. Like how gym for me is like, when I go to the gym, it's very peaceful. It's calming because I can just forget about the real world for a second and just get my workout in. The same thing with golf. It's peaceful. I can just escape for 4 hours and do my thing. Hit some balls, get some birdie attempts, pars, bogeys, whatever it is. It's peaceful. Next, walking the fairway, or driving the carts. Both of them are fun. When you play like courses that keep it maintained, keep well maintenance, they're like fairways, it's amazing because you go to your ball and you see the grass is like perfectly like in a perfect lie, perfect position, or you just see like the scenery you see on the fairways. It's crazy. Like you can see like mountains that you usually like brush past. You see like other things in the fairways, but it's amazing like how any course you go to, majority of the times the fairways are pretty good. They're pretty spot on. They keep them well maintained, especially during season, because they want people to come back. Last is time with friends. That's the best one. Why I kept it for last? Because time with friends is it's amazing. Like, I've come to realize as we get older, it's good to bond with friends. Like, stay in touch with each other. Because I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get sad. But like, we don't know when our time's we don't know when our time is done. Like, with the world we're in right now, like things could go south at any moment, and just spending time with friends, either if it's at the gym, golf, or even outside in life, and just hanging out with people, like it just helps with that bond of like, hey, you're not alone. You got people who are interested in playing golf, or interested in going to the gym, or interested in your own life, and they're there for you. But to tie it with golf, though, it's like you're not stuck with a rando. Like that's terrible to say, but I love when I'm at least with like a duo doubles. Like me and my buddy play, and then we have like two stragglers. But like majority of the times, those two randos are phenomenal. They're sports. They're amazing. They know the game. They are courteous. They're everything. Like manners, golf etiquette's all there. But to me, golf is therapy until it ruins your day. And yes, because it's the most toxic relationship you'll ever have. Because you might be having the perfect therapeutic session, with either a driving range session or a round. And then you start to suck, and like you start to like get in your head, get frustrated. And I know some people it ruins, or it makes their day worse. But I'm like, really, does this sport really do that? In the beginning, it did for me, until I realized like, hold your composure, don't let your emotions get ahead of you, and bounce back. And that's what I've tried to do. Is just, I used to freaking be angry with golf. Like, hit a terrible shot, slam my club in the ground. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, JP, stop. Like, this is not how you play. This is not golf etiquette. Or I'd be just cussing out a storm at anything. It's good shot, bad shot, everything in between. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it's just a game. Like, you're not going, like, I was telling myself, you're not going, bro. Like, this is just for fun. Like, chill the frick out. Like, calm down. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I might sound crazy just talking to myself, but like, playing sports, that's always what I did. Was like, knowing I can talk to myself about things, and understanding, like, reflecting of like what I'm doing, especially in golf. I'm like, dude, why am I throwing my club? Dude, why am I cussing so much? Dude, why are you being this way in front of either your friends or two randos that are like, this is how they are gonna present me, as like someone who can't keep their composure. So what I started to do is that it taught me to be patient. It taught me to cool down. It taught me to cool off. Hitting bad shots, yes. But then my buddy's like, it's okay. Like, just don't hit another one, or bounce back. Forget about that swing. Forget about that hole, and start over. Just think like that. So I started to do that, and yeah, my emotions have been a lot better ever since then. It's just that me understanding, reflecting, like, if I get to those dark places of my emotion starts to get ahead of me, I take a second back. What I do is I literally drink some water, like this. Breathe in, through the nose, obviously, out to the mouth, and say, let's get the next shot, on to the next, and bounce back. I'm not going to be like my old self saying, well, F this, like, that was a terrible shot, and it just ruins my rest of my round. But that's why I say just it taught me to be patient. It taught me to control my emotions, and it's taught me to hitting bad shots or hitting anything, just letting go of mistakes, letting go of like the bad swings and the failures that I've had, because the failures would teach me lessons of why I did that, and that's why that happened, or why that's that outcome. But yes, segment 4, some lessons from golf. Like I'm gonna say again, golf has exposed my ego. Because I am getting a little better. Like I'm able to like hit consistent shots. But sometimes I do feel like I'm that guy, and I'm like, instead of taking the easy shot or like the shot that's more safe, I'm like, you know what? I'm freaking Scotty Scheffler, Tiger Woods. I'm one of them right now. I'm that guy. And I try the ridiculous, fade it across a tree, cut it across a tree. You know what happens most of the time? It literally either goes 2 feet in front of me, or I full on just duck hook it right, duck hook it left. And it's like, if I cut my ego out of the way, if I cut my ego out of anything, like, and play like the shot that I know I can take, even if it's a layup, I'll take that over me going for that freaking ridiculous 1% shot that I can make it. And if I do make it, or if I do hit like that shot, I'll be honest, it was the most luckiest shot I've ever had. Like, there's no way my intentions, I did not purposely do that. It was all pure luck. So what it's taught me is that the importance of slowing down, being present, and staying patient. You see, once my ego, like, if I start racking up good rounds, start racking up good driving range sessions, like, my ego starts to get higher and higher and higher. And then I go to a round, and once my ego's that high, I'm like, yo, I'm that guy. When I'm not that guy, obviously. And I start to plummet. And then I go back to, like, telling myself, but I should tell myself every time, if I have a good range session, if I have a good round, it's like, you are not that guy, so calm the frick down. And start down. And work your way up. Instead of going from the top to the bottom. From the bottom to top. So it's time to be slowing down, like tempo. Like, slow it down. Like, you might be in the moment of, like, I'm crushing it. I'm killing it. But then once my tempo is, like, too fast, top, slice, shank, whiff, like, all those bad habits start to happen again. Being present is just basically, living in the moment. If it's either gym, golf, life, whatever it is. Like, just being present and not trying to do something stupid, try to do something realistic that I could not do. And just not, like, holding on to things that I don't need to hold on to. And last thing, staying patient, Sometimes I want to rush, and I don't got the patience, but I know, like, if I take that second to stay patient, figure out what I want to do, without taking too much time, obviously, because golf, people will get mad if you take too long. Been there, sorry. But yeah, that's what I just care. Like, it's just amazing. But yeah, so let me tell you a story. What happened? So basically, a story that when golf humbled me was, oh my gosh, it was probably like 3 months ago, maybe 2 to 3 months ago. I played a course called Starfire in Scottsdale, Arizona, on Hayden Road. If you know where that is, if you don't, it's in Scottsdale, Arizona. My buddy told me on one hole, like, it's like a dog left, and he's like, do not shoot for it, or like punch straight, and then you can have a shot left. So I did that. So I listened to that, obviously, because, like, slowing down, being present, staying patient. I did the punch. I listened to him as I normally would, because he's usually a great player and a great caddy. But then my second shot, I was like probably 245 from the pin, because this was a long hole. Like, it's going straight then left, and I know my 3-wood could get there. Instead of maybe punching up to get to, let's say, at least 150 in, or 145 to 150 yards into the hole, I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna just crank out my 3-wood and get it there. He was telling me don't do that because you won't probably make it, or like it's a lot harder than it looks. And like the ground lie was not the best lie, obviously. And I was like, you know what? Nah, I got it. I'm that guy. Like I was like, yeah, I can do it. No, I full on topped it. It went 2 feet in front of me. So now we're at like freaking 245 to like 242. I go again. Same thing happens, but this time it goes to that 145, 150 yard into the hole, into the hole, like 145 out. And there's water in front. Something about water and I do not get along is I just start to panic. And then this is my 4th shot, full on hitting the water. Take a drop. So now I'm on my 6th shot, again hitting the water. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm on my 8th shot. I have 10 shots until I have to concede a hole. So I was like, this is bad. So then I make it onto the green for my 9th shot. Then I make the 10th, but it was like a par 4. And I was +5 on that hole. I was like, dude, this is bad. No, +6. I was like, this is bad. Like, wow, I literally just suck. And till this day, whenever I play that course, or if you ever want to play that course again, I make sure that I do never do that. That I can put my ego aside and actually like go for the safer shots, go for the shots that I know I can take confidently, and swing and not swing out of my shoes in places that like I'm gonna try. I'm that guy. Like I'm never having that mentality again of being I'm that guy, because I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy. If I'm playing for fun, I don't want to lose balls. Like that's what I'm like. I want to have a round where I haven't had it yet. Knock on wood. That I don't. No, I do want to knock on wood. Like I don't want to lose any balls. I just want to be like consistent playing one ball a round. That'd be amazing. That's my goal. So, but how I could turn it around. So, like a lesson from that story is basically stop chasing perfection. What I mean about that is, like I said, going for the easy shot instead of going for the hard shot. Like the shot that makes me that guy when I'm not that guy. But focus on staying consistent and recovering from a bad couple shots, and still like not quitting, not giving up on a hole. And that's what I did. I just make sure like don't chase perfection. We all go through struggles, even some PGA players. I've seen it in like when I went to the TPC Phoenix Open. There are some players that did duff it, and I'm like, they are like us. They're normal. They're not superhumans out there. They're athletes. Like they're athletes that mess up, and that's okay because we all mess up. I'm not there to try to chase perfection of every swing, every shot should be perfect to a T. If I have a bad shot, I have a bad shot. It is what it is. But it's just that recovery and that consistency of, getting back up from a bad shot. Last section, segment 5, or last segment, is the social side of golf. So this is the best part that I think of this whole segment. It's basically what I'm talking about is the banter, the trash talk, and bonding with friends and randos. I'm going to break it down. So the bantering is just, or the trash talk is basically like, I don't do as much, or my buddy and I don't do as much unless we have like a bad shot. Or like, we're like, damn, that shot was terrible. Like, what are you doing? But like in scrambles are, it's amazing because the buddy I play with, his game and my game are pretty good, but he's definitely a lot better than I am. So when we're doing scramble play, majority of times I'm like hyping him up because like he's carrying, like I'm like, damn, your back must be like heavy or must be like sore because you're carrying this whole round. And there's sometimes we're just trash talking each other like, dude, like what are you doing? Like what the, like I get a better shot than that, or like you could hit, like he's like telling me like that's all you got. I'm like, damn. But it's like all like jokes aside, like it's all fun and games because it's like we're both, I think, at a point where like if we stay more consistent, I think we can play in tournaments. Small tournaments, obviously, not too big ones, but like the way we play, like we work with each other. Like we're good. We'd be a good duo team. Next, golf is literally sometimes 4 to 5 hours, depending on how flowing the round is, and it's a distraction. It's a great distraction. I think it's like a healthy distraction for me, at least. If I'm having a hard week at work, or I'm having a hard month, or whatever it is, hard week at work. Let's just say that. Like if anyone's having a hard week at work, I would recommend go play around. I don't care if you're good. Like come with me if you want. Like just be there, be in the nature, and you just start swinging clubs. Because all that matters in that moment of that 4 to 5 hours is literally your round. Of you trying to chase either not going too high of a scorecard or just having fun, like being out like with friends who care about the sport, who just, or don't even have to care about the sport, who just want to like just bond or hang out. It is expensive, not gonna lie, but I love it. My buddy loves it, and we just have a great time. Like we're just enjoying watching people watching. If the courses are around neighbors, we're like, what the heck is that old man doing? Like he's really yelling at nothing, like stuff like that. But let's see a story. So a memorable round with friends would be, it's probably one of the recent ones. So we played Stone Creek, my buddy and I, the one I usually golf with, and we're just going at it. We're just chirping each other. We're just having a fun time. Like hitting great shots. We're hyping each other up. Bad shot, good shot, whatever it is. But there was one hole. I think it was like the back nine. We literally saw like this kid. There was like a pond, full on. This has no context with the golf round at all. But it was just like we both witnessed it and we're like, no freaking way. And my buddy's all like hyped up. He was like, but yeah, sorry for teasing you, but it is what it was a kid was literally hillbilly hand fishing in a pond. And he caught a fish. Like he full on grabbed the fish. And my buddy's like, dude, did you catch a fish? And he's like, and we saw him like put it up. And we're like, holy crap. Like what the frick? During our round, like it doesn't sound like anything. But like, it's a memorable moment for me. Because I was like, all the crap we go through our daily lives. Like that one memorable moment, or that one thing that happened during our round. Like it didn't make my week feel like crap. Or I was like, see, this is what I need. I need to just be out in the wilderness. I need to be out around on a course and just stumble upon a kid hillbilly hand fishing while we're doing a round. Like it just, I don't know about it. It's just like, it was just like, what are we like? First of all, how close is where was this kid from? Like how the hell? I would never put my hand in a pond. I would never hillbilly handfish because I've seen like videos, traumatizing. Or I'm like, dude, I've fished. I've had fishing experience, but like bluegills, whatever, like small bass, largemouth bass, their spine things are spiky. Like I'm not trying to grab that. Heck no. Only thing I will grab is like a trout because like it's very like flimsy, not flimsy, but like very like soft. So, like the fins, not too spiky like a freaking bass. I'm like, holy crap. This kid is brave. This kid is braver than me. And I'm like, respect. But it was hilarious. But the bigger picture is that community, friends, family, or whoever it is in your life, community does matter. Like, surround yourself with people you want to surround yourself with. Not with people who are just going to flake on you or not be there for you in the tough times. Because, for me, golf, it is an excuse, but it's not. Because it's my buddy and I play all the time. So he's like part of my community. He's part of my group that I consider a close friend. And it just helps me like distract from real life world issues that are happening right now or that have happened at work, whatever it is, that I know if it's a Sunday, let's play some golf. And bam, makes the whole week better. But here's the thing about golf. It is a game. But for me, it's also a lifestyle. See, I'll break it down. So you see, it tests your patience. It tests your emotions. It exposes your weaknesses. But if you stick with it, you stay consistent, you stay dedicated, you will have the best moments in your life. And that's life itself, is with testing your patience, controlling your emotions, recovering from things that are happening in your life, exposing your weaknesses so you can strengthen your weaknesses or learn from them as lessons. Because you can't control every shot. Like, you're not that guy. I'm sorry. I'm not that guy. But what you can control is how you respond, how you can execute, how you can bounce back from those bad shots or anything in life. You see, hit a bad one. You're like, how I go nowadays is I hit a bad shot. Or if you hit a bad one, forget about it. Move on, reset, whatever it has to be, and just bounce back. It's the same with life. You have a bad day. You have a bad gym session, literally forget about it. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. Because if you keep replaying your mistakes, you're never going to grow. You're never going to learn. You're never going to execute the way you want to execute because you're just having that repeated in your mind of, well, that was a bad one. That was a mistake. I didn't hit that great. All those will repeat in your head, and all that negativity thoughts in your head will start to pop and be on some kind of like rotation. But I want you to focus on the shots or life in general that's in front of you. Basically, just be in the moment, be in the present, and I'm going to say it again. Forget about the bad shots. Forget about the bad lifts. Forget about the bad things. Don't let them consume you too much. Because if they consume you, you'll lead to some kind of darkness. Go to your community. Go to your people. Whoever it is, friends, family, Bible groups, or gym friends, gym members, whoever it is that you can talk to, go to them. They are willing to listen. Your voice will be heard, because that's how I am. I go to my friends, both gym, life, and I feel heard. I'm not trying to bottle everything up, so just know that you have a community, you have a voice. Use your voice and express yourself, because that's also emotions that you need to bounce from. If you hold on to everything, you will break. You will explode, and that's not what we want. So find your community, find your people, and that's it for that. But yeah, this is episode 7 of the JP podcast. If you're a golfer, I feel like you understand. If you're not a golfer, I challenge you to try swinging some clubs if you get the chance. Or maybe stay far away from it because it's very addicting. Once you hit your first pure shot, oh my gosh, you will want to go back again and again and again. But either way, thanks for tuning in to the JP Podcast, episode 7. This is more about golf, tying it into life as well. But share this with someone. If you found this interesting, found something knowledgeable in this, or you found something that you could relate it with, share with someone. Share. Because what really matters to me is that we are a community. We all thrive for each other's success, and we're there for each other. Oh, and if you got some funny golf stories or funny golf stories, memorable golf stories, memorable moments, put them in the comments. Oh, I would love them just to and I might bring them up in a future episode of a golf series that I'm going to do. But until next time, stay patient, stay consistent, and again, play that next shot. Forget about the bad ones and find your community. All right, guys. Catch you later.